The invocation and pledge of allegiance. May we bow in an attitude of prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning and just say thank you for the night of rest and for the opportunity to be present and to serve. Lord, we pray for our nation today in particular. We pray for civility. We pray for peace and understanding and, Lord, respect for each other. May you guide us, direct us. May we honor you in the things we do and say. Lord, have mercy upon us that we do our best in serving others. Lead, guide, and direct. I pray in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Officially call our meeting to order. And first up is approval of the minutes from June 18th.
Wasn't here, right?
Right.
I was not here, I believe.
Okay.
That one I abstained.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, motion and second to approve as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. 3-1.
301.
301. Next up is Commissioners' reports and comments, and Commissioner Klein,
Other than that,
nice purple shirt on today. I thought you'd go first.
We have our dementia-friendly Washington County team coming in. I won't spoil their hurrah, but they have some great news about our participation. I do want to bring up, I talked to Commissioner Kiefer before the meeting started. We would still want to review that rest stop area up there west of Hancock with the graffiti, and I think we're going to schedule a visit, but if we possibly can make sure that area's, like to have it all cleaned up and addressed prior to us meeting. Commissioner Kiefer has agreed to have that, and we'll still meet up there to take a look as well. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Wagner?
Hey, good morning. This is the first time back since after the 4th of July. I hope everybody had a very safe and happy and celebrative holiday since the 4th. And a reminder that the Ag Expo is underway. A lot going on down there. I did hear they had canceled some things this evening because of heat, so you might want to check on that. I think Joe Fulton Band was there, supposedly tentatively scheduled for tonight. The 4-H, I had two of the young 4-H FA young adults come in, young farmers come in and visit me and ask me to be at the market sale. It's Thursday evening at 5:30. That's when they sell their some of the livestock and animals they've raised, helps fund. And I usually get something and donate it back. I don't really want rabbit meat, but you know, it's some people do. So with that being said, I think, celebrated my 50th wedding anniversary this week. How about that? So, yeah, so I think that's all I have.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Wagner. Mr. Kiefer?
Yeah. Thank you. Just to follow up on what Commissioner Klein said about the rest stop area on Sidling Hill. We're not talking about the one on Interstate 68, but the one on National Pike,
Yeah,
part of
thanks
Route
for the
40.
Thank you.
And it had some graffiti, some vandalism recently. And I know a couple years ago, our Public Works Department spruced that area up, some new pavilions. Maybe last year, 2 years ago, they filled in a sinkhole that was starting up there. And if we could have just some renewed focus on that area, I think that has one of the most beautiful views in the county. Unfortunately, most of it isn't of Washington County, but to the bottom of the mountain, it certainly is Washington County, and great place to pull over and maybe eat a sandwich or some ice cream. I appreciate some of the emails that we're getting about the excessive heat advisory. I know some organizations are kind of changing or limiting some outdoor activities and events because of the heat. Just a reminder, if anyone has a neighbor or a friend, senior citizens, or someone who might be have some other kind of handicap maybe that the heat would affect, it might be a good idea to check on your neighbors and friends, and maybe if they need to run to the grocery store, it might be best if you do that for them rather than have someone who would be more susceptible to the heat go out in this hot weather. So just a friendly reminder to check on your neighbors, friends who might be a little more susceptible to the heat than the rest of us. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Kiefer. Good comments. I think that all of us look out for our neighbors and citizens of Washington County. We'd be much better served. So, good point. I, too, would like to just thank everyone for the last couple of weeks. We've had a little summer break and over July 4th, and this week is Ag Expo, that has already been mentioned. I was down there last night, and both the participants and the animals were stressing pretty badly from this heat. And today, I think, is going to be the worst, and hopefully they can curtail any mishaps or problems with fans and water and just keeping both animals and humans hydrated and protected from the heat. One thing that was brought to my attention at the Ag Center last night, and I think it was exacerbated by the heat, and a paramedic came up to me and said, "Who do I ask for a request?" And I said, "Well, ask it. We'll see what can happen." And what the request is, there's no AED device. I think there's one in the office building there where you enter, but that's locked in the evenings. And the paramedic said, with this heat and as many people are here, can we get an AED device somewhere either in the barn or near the barns, and maybe right there in that exhibition hall would be an ideal location, just inside. So
I'll reach out to staff.
see if, I don't know if we have those around available, or it'd be nice if we could even have it yet this week during
Did we,
the expo.
pardon interrupt, didn't we fund some money for all the police, sheriff's department have one in their vehicle?
They do. They all have one in their vehicles,
Okay.
and
Wonder if we
there
have
are,
any yet.
yes.
I don't think we have any extra
So-
or spares. It could be, if nothing else, during Ag Expo, have it down there.
I'll double check with staff and see if we can make one accessible.
Okay, I'm sure they'll be pleased that their request was heard and appreciated and, reacted to, so.
Yeah, I'm going Thursday night, try to have one there by then.
Yeah, would they have one, they have our command center down there, don't they? This year, they bring our trailer command center?
I'm really not sure if they did or not.
I didn't take notice of that.
I didn't notice it last night when I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, if the command center's there, they would definitely have one.
There were deputies there, so I know, I saw at least 3 sheriff's deputies' vehicles there,
But
so.
they were on the grounds.
They were on the
Okay.
grounds.
They would have one in their vehicles.
Correct.
Okay, again, it's good to be back and serving our local citizens. So anything we've missed? Hearing none, I'll open it up to staff comments, and first up is Chip Rose.
Morning, Commissioners. Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources. I only have one item for you this morning. Staff is requesting approval to advertise for the fleet manager's position, which is position 1213. Keep in mind that the incumbent that has vacated the position was in a uniform position, which was a patrol scale 7. The comparable scale for the WCC scale is a grade 14. The sheriff is asking for a range of step 3 to 6 to post, and that would give us a range of $70,000 to $75,000.
This position is a new position for fiscal year '25. They are going to keep it budget neutral by monitoring their vacancy savings for the fiscal year. So it would be a new position request as well.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0.
That's all I have for you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. Next up is Dawn, board appointments.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of the Washington County Commission for Women, I am requesting a motion to appoint Gwen Leatherman and Kelsey Munson to serve a first full 3-year term from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2027. This is not a paid board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
That's all.
That's it? Okay. Michelle Gordon, County Administrator.
Okay. During the last 2 weeks, we did have the Secretary of Agriculture, Kevin Addix, here in Washington County as part of Maryland's Best Ice Cream Trail. He stopped at Misty Meadows in Smithsburg. So we spent time with his staff, and it was interesting to meet him. Commissioner Barr has already mentioned that we do have a blood drive today at the Public Safety Training Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I did attend the county administrators meeting for MACO where we discussed legislative items. They mentioned, provided information regarding the state's $150 million budget adjustment for fiscal year '25 as a result of unexpected expenditure increases for their insurance premiums, as well as ramping down of their health department expenses related to COVID and the pandemic. I did attend the purchasing luncheon with staff here at the county offices. I also attended Hagerstown Field House beam signing and topping off ceremony on behalf of the county with the city of Hagerstown. The next meeting that we have is July the 23rd. We also have an evening meeting on July the 23rd at 6 p.m. With the town of Hancock. I have 2 letters of support that I would like to get a consensus on. The first letter of support is for Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, Neighborhood Business Works project funding for Cannon Coffee's application for grant funding of $20,000 to improve and expand their kitchen and breakfast menu. They are not asking for any funding from the county.
Motion to support.
Yes, I'm fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Consensus.
Second letter of support is from the Dolman Black Heritage Museum. They have an application for grant funding for the African American Heritage Preservation Grant within the Maryland Historical Trust. They are seeking $250,000 for architectural planning and design for their pre-construction phase of their new museum project. They are not seeking any funding from the county, and their grant request is $250,000.
I'm okay.
Second, support. You want motions or consensus? What do you ask?
I just need a consensus for letters of
Okay.
support.
This is, yeah,
Okay.
4-0. We're good.
And that's everything that I have.
Okay, I did overlook the upcoming events listing. There's a couple items that I don't think have been mentioned this morning. Chamber of Commerce July Bash is at Star Community. That is Thursday, July the 18th. That's this Thursday at 5 p.m. Also on Friday, Black Rock Cafe grand opening. That's at county-owned Black Rock Golf Course. Friday, July 19th at 11 a.m. And then the Town of Williamsport, Maryland Municipal League Annual Crab Feed, Springfield Barn, next Monday, July 22nd at 5:30 p.m. So commissioners and citizens alike, put those on your calendar. And next up is citizens participation time. This is an opportunity for citizens to comment about an issue or issues of county practices and interest. This is not an interactive dialogue or question and answer session. It is solely a time to hear citizens' comments. Please remember to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. With that, I'll open up the floor to anyone that would want to come forward and under citizens' participation this morning. Going once, going twice. Okay, with that, we'll move right into our schedule with presentation by Dementia Friendly Washington County.
Folks, you have anybody else still coming at 9:30?
We should have some more.
Well,
We're
let's-
expecting at least 2 more people.
Would you want to wait to 9:30
Yes,
and go
okay.
by that? Thank you.
Can we can't do the public hearing.
Airport's here, I think.
Is the airport ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move down to the 9:50 agenda item, request for concurrence/approval of airport's application for a small community air service development grant. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Neil Doran, Airport Director. Andrew's not here, but I suppose I can go ahead with that. We're both on the same page. So we've discussed this in the past in our strategic plan and in working with our aviation consultants, Valair. The United States Department of Transportation has a program called the Small Community Air Service Development Grant Program. And what we're seeking today is concurrence and approval to put an application in. The deadline is July the 25th. We'd be seeking $325,000 in federal funds, and we would pair them with our existing $50,000 spend. We have a $75,000 cash commitment from the Convention and Visitors Bureau in support of the project, and letters of support, preliminary discussions. We've been able to collect about 19 letters of support so far. With your concurrence, if we can get this in, if this were to be awarded, we could potentially quadruple the amount available to promote the airport's available air service. And we would write this in a flexible manner where we could promote existing air service, expanded air service, or potentially more flying by Allegiant or more flying by a new entrant carrier if that happened within a grant period of 2 to 3 years from now. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
I see you have concurrence from the advisory board.
Yes, we did discuss it at our last
Concurrence from any
meeting.
of our staff, administrator or CFO, all that?
Well, we have talked with Andrew Escherman. He's aware of it.
Andrew, welcome back from your
Yeah,
vacation.
thank you. Sorry for the delay.
And this will be at no additional cost to what we're spending now, and no additional cost for the consultants to assist us in preparing the grant application as
But
well.
no concurrences from other staff other than you right now?
I concur with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked internally. Essentially, it's an opportunity to multiply the limited marketing dollars that the airport does have. And I will say, I was really pleased with the support they received from the community and marketing partners for this effort. So I think we are trying to put our best foot forward, again, in terms of what we can do to promote the airport and the services that we have. And so again, this is an opportunity that the FAA provides for smaller communities such as Hagerstown to pull down some additional revenue to support the services that we have.
Yeah, I'm good. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 4-0. Let's see, Brian's here. Ready?
Yeah, let's just let the dementia-friendly people come up and
Yeah, more-
talk long and slow, waiting on the arrival.
Yeah, we can't do the public hearing. Good morning.
Good morning. Nothing controversial, all happy news.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us. We just wanted to come and give you all an update on the progress that we've made as dementia-friendly Washington County. So that's what we're going to do today.
Wonderful.
Can we please take the next slide? Does that work? Can I work it? Oh, there we go. Before we begin, special thank you to everyone that has helped make the online training a success so far. Shout out to Jeff Klein. Brian Overcash has been very, very helpful in sending out the emails because we started with an online training approach within the government to become Dementia Friends. And currently, we have 245 local governments out here that have completed the training. So thank you all for doing that. I know it's a big effort to get everyone to take time to do it. I think it's really important. The administrative staff here and the HR department has been very helpful all the way. So that's what made it possible. And once we get to 50% of staff being trained, then we had stickers and window clings that were created and purchased by Carolyn and John to advertise that you're a dementia-friendly business. So we're very excited to be making our progress that way.
And each work element within the county will become dementia-friendly with the stickers as a work unit. So you don't have to wait for the entire county workforce to be trained at all. Each department can meet the 50% goal and become dementia-friendly, become certified.
Yeah, and I spoke to Brian about getting those number counts for departments, so.
May I interrupt? Those ones that get certified then can train to make other coworkers certified, is that correct?
Once they complete the in-person training.
Okay.
So that's the next step. So right now, we're doing an online just to get it out, make it easy for everyone, and then we'll come back through. And ideally, it would be great if you could just appoint 1 or 2 staff members that are really dedicated to this to go through that in-person training, and then they can bring it back and offer the training in-house then. So everyone could then become additionally certified as, they're called dementia champions. So,
And Commissioner Klein has already had the training to be a dementia friend.
yes,
He knows.
Next step is to be a dementia champion, is that correct?
yes,
Very much.
that would be the next
You.
step.
I think you've had 2 more people arrive.
Yeah, oh, here's Amanda Crawford and Pete McMillan, major parts of our steering committee. We are still waiting on one more that we thought would come today. But I think it's been a great effort so far. So if we go to the next slide. I just put these stats in here just as a look at Washington County specific. And reference where they were pulled from. So this came from the Alzheimer's Association, the 2020 prevalence estimate. And at 2020, it's estimated that there's 3,000 cases in our county, age 65 and up. And if you go to the next slide, using the Census Bureau data for 2023, we can see that it continues to increase, and we all know that it's a problem that is continuing to increase, so. Next slide, please. So that's just there for you. So at this point.
Next slide.
Yeah. We have a 11.2% of Alzheimer's dementia prevalence rate right now.
There we go.
And then if you go to the next slide, just to give you an idea of our goals, I mean, when you made the proclamation, we're very excited. The steering committee sat down, the goals are to raise awareness, decrease stigma, and provide education. And we have started to get our footing on how we will raise awareness. We've established a designated email address courtesy of Amanda Crawford. We have a Facebook page now, so Dementia Friendly Washington County. If you go on Facebook, definitely like and follow us, as we'll be putting more information out that way. And I am working on the development of dementiafriendlywashco.org. Sorry for my spacing there, I thought I fixed that. But that will be our web, more information that way, and can take training requests that way once it's up. And yeah, we also put in work for to decrease stigma. We want to make sure that we support people living with dementia and their families through this journey, and through the SWOT analysis that Carolyn did. Having these additional support groups is really important, and there aren't many. So our team worked to establish a memory cafe, and we're bringing it back. And that was a joint effort from Amanda Crawford and Stephen Luber, part of our committee.
The first one's in September, is that the date on that?
Yep, and it'll happen the third Thursday of the month from 12 to 1. So at this stage, we are looking for sponsors to be able to provide lunch for the people that come.
If you don't know what a memory cafe is, it's an opportunity for social engagement which prolongs the ability of people with dementia to stay engaged with the people around them. But to be in the same room with people who are going through the same journey is extremely supportive for those of us who are care partners and for people with dementia. So we had enjoyed it before COVID, and then it went the way of many things when COVID hit. And we're going to restore it. And I can tell you that, well, actually, I'd encourage you to drop by to one of the memory cafes. It exists in more urban areas in abundance, but here and in the rural areas of the state, you don't see so many of them because it takes the people stepping up to be sponsors for the light lunch that's served, for the activities that are given. There's usually some kind of either a craft or a discussion about things in the past and an opportunity to just engage socially rather than having a big training kind of thing. It's really a social engagement opportunity. So come by and see what it's like. Otterbein has stepped up again to provide the space.
Yes. All right, and next slide. And then education is one of the efforts that we're doing. That is something that I'm leading as part of the steering committee. And I just wanted to make everyone aware, and thank you again for doing the Dementia Friend online training. The additional trainings that I can provide under Betty's Wish will be Dementia Live training, and that's a high-impact simulation training. So it is a wonderful empathy tool and just to build an understanding of what it could be like. It's a really incredible training, so there'll be more information to come with that, and as well as the Alzheimer's community training. Whew, spacing on myself.
And you can be provided the Dementia Live experience if you want to know the simulator. If you all want to participate in that and have that set up for you, just say so.
Yes, we'll be happy to do it. And we just wanted to say a special thank you. You know, we are focused on government, but we are bridging into the community now. CNB Bank, we have 2 members on our steering committee, and they have stepped up, and they are very excited to be the first community training that we do. And we have that on the schedule for the 7th of August.
People with dementia are particularly financially vulnerable, as are those of us of a certain age. And banking is one of the targeted trainings with Dementia Friendly America. There's a special curricula for them because of the people they interface with that are often taken advantage of by, unfortunately, by family and friends or caregivers or whomever they come in contact with. So we're thrilled that CNB Bank has stepped up.
Yes.
I have a question. Are you finished, Adam?
Yeah.
Would you introduce the 2 guests next to you and why they're on that committee? Carolyn, would you be so kind to bring awareness to us all?
Sure. I'm Carolyn Perigo, and this is my husband, John Perigo. We're here because we're the face of people going through the journey. As you may recall, I told you we've been 14 years on a dementia journey. John was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment 14 years ago, and 10 years ago it was confirmed as Alzheimer's disease. So we look to family and friends around us for support, and it turns out that we're probably more transparent than most people are in talking about it because we chose to be transparent from the very beginning of our journey. I'm acutely aware of how much the stigma keeps families from getting early intervention, and that is disastrous because it is a chronic illness that has no cure. Early intervention has meant medical intervention and lifestyle changes has meant that John's here 14 years later, and yeah, you can have a conversation with him. He'll tell you a joke, and he's still just beginning in the middle stages of dementia. So we're grateful for that every day. And we're delighted that you signed the proclamation declaring this county dementia-friendly, and that we have been able to make such progress after 11 months and come back to you and tell you about it. The total commitment of Commissioner Klein is noteworthy. I don't think he's missed a meeting. He's really committed to this, and we're grateful.
Carolyn, I sort of remember you guys from how long's it been?
11 months, I think.
Yeah, but is there any other than what you're doing, is there other other than medical, is there any other resources in the area?
There are limited resources. The training helps, I think, to spark, the awareness will spark more people coming forward, and we need to be prepared for that. But at this point, I've only been able to uncover one support group in the whole county for people like me who are care partners, and that one already is maxed out.
So if someone walked into a bank, is it like the businesses, like a bank would be a big deal, I think. See, I took the
Yes.
training. If you walked into a bank, is there resources that other than the ones some banks that would help banking, or they depend on a family member?
They're dependent on family members at this point, but as the training spreads,
Right.
we hope that they're aware of the resources. The Alzheimer's Association has a 24/7 hotline, and they would be helpful in helping to sort out what the needs are of that person at that time.
Gotcha.
We also have wonderful memory care units for those that need residential programming. Those are available in the county. And we have a couple of day programs for those who need just that level of care. But in terms of early stage or moderate stage, it's very, very, very limited.
Yeah, I
certainly
think
need more-
it's like to do the breast cancer awareness thing, it's like it's hard to talk to anybody and somebody's not affected by dementia, Alzheimer's, or something within a
Exactly.
family. But one more question, I'll let you learn. You mentioned simulator, I missed something there, what?
So it's what Dementia Live. So we say simulation because we use different equipment to alter senses. There are specific glasses that you wear. You'll wear headphones that provide different noises and speech, and it's disorienting in a way. And then there's gloves that you would put on as well. And then in that simulation, you'll be asked to just complete a couple tasks in 5 minutes. And from that time frame, just that amount of time, you could get an understanding of how confusing it
Gotcha.
can be.
But that's more toward late stage. I think you have to remember that this is it's often called the long goodbye. It doesn't start there. If you think it starts there, you've missed the signals and you haven't had the training to see it start years before. So I think that's important to differentiate. But I do encourage you to consider the Dementia Live, for you all to experience it, because I think it'll give you an awareness that you may have from encountering family members or friends, but a unique perspective.
Yes.
I have a
Thanks, Carl,
closing
your heart.
remarks if you have any.
Yes, yeah, please.
Well, first of all, Commissioner Wagner, you're right, just like Dewey's House for Cancer, every family now is having a dementia or Alzheimer's story. One example about my mom, she ran off. She was in full-blown Alzheimer's, we were still keeping her at home. But Deputy Routson, who I now is retired, but I think works for the city, went and located her. He had a family member who had that illness, and he politely walked her up the hill from the park, agreeing, knowing how to diffuse and direct. So everybody will have a dementia Alzheimer's story. I can't thank the committee enough for your dedication and deep passion for this, and Carolyn, you and your husband, to share your illness with the world. I admire you and respect you for that. To Michelle Gordon, who immediately, as county administrator, agreed to bring this project forward, and the HR department. I know you get in trouble when you sing the people up. I do want to thank my friend Brian Overcash for his commitment to continue to get that link out willingly and rapidly. So thank you, Brian. That attributed those 240 plus members. So I can't thank you all enough for what you've done and your future plans for awareness for this horrible disease. Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Well, having the disease and having to put up with it, if you will, I want to thank everybody in here for even just talking about it. And I think one of the things we need to do more is to get people to understand, to talk about it. Because people will tend to hide because it's not something, you know, you're not laying in a bed, if you will. You just forget to do things, quite honestly. And I just appreciate everybody here and everybody who's doing that kind of work to recognize that we got a problem here. And thank you very much, quite bluntly. I do appreciate everything that you're doing for us and will continue to do, I hope, anyway, in the future. Sooner or later, they'll figure out how to handle it, and I hope we get that done pretty quickly, but if we don't, if it takes a long time, let's all just keep working at it, and sooner or later, we'll get through it. And at that, I'll shut up and you can get back to work.
Thank you.
Picture.
Yeah.
I think we're going to
Can we get a picture?
Could I say a few comments first?
Oh,
Maybe,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you all for coming out, who was part of this group, but John, especially for your courage to sit before us and speak a little bit, and Carolyn, thanks for your help too, and everyone, really. Shout out to CMB, I appreciate that. I work for CMB. I know those two ladies that you mentioned, they're great people.
Yes.
And
Your branch is next.
Yes, there we go. We're coming your way.
You're absolutely right. You know, a lot of times, sometimes the bad things that can happen are uncovered at a bank, or, you know, a banker may be the first one to catch on with something along the lines of one of their customers having dementia, and elder abuse is unfortunately running rampant. And I hope you get every bank in the community to participate. And if I can help in any way, I would like to.
Thank you.
I think dementia is usually associated with someone of an older age, but I have a friend from Rotary who developed a form of early onset dementia at the age of in her 50s. And so it can, you know, can strike really anyone, but certainly that's not as common. I know Amanda is on the board of the Commission on Aging, as am I, and the state of Maryland recently is requiring Commission on Aging's, Area Agency on Aging's to, as people come in for services by the Commission on Aging, they have to do dementia screening. I believe they're in the throngs of training right now for that. So any individual that comes in for some kind of needed service, they have to be screened for dementia training. And I know our local Commission on Aging, probably all across the state, because that's where it applies, you know, is trying to understand what does that mean, you know, that next level of screening that they have to do. So I would imagine over the years to come, probably more people with dementia it'll be uncovered, hopefully earlier, as you mentioned, for more earlier preventative, not preventative screenings, but just getting that diagnosis earlier to help the individual. As you mentioned with John, I think that's a great importance. So I would expect that those individuals to be uncovered much sooner, which is a good thing in our community, but we have to handle that somehow. We have to be ready for the care that's needed for those individuals. So I think that would be maybe a great partner to work with as well, the Commission on Aging.
Thank you.
We meet out front for a photo, and staff, if you have a certificate, why don't you join us for the photo?
Today we're going to sing, oh, wait a minute.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Delighted. And thank you, sir. Thanks for your Thank you. Thank you.
The Commission on Aging was asked to join, they refused. I hope that got picked up on the hot mic. Oh, it's somber, but they fall, get hurt. Just heard more stories. It's heartbreaking. The worst part is watching your family. When I moved in to take care of it, watching the day-to-day deterioration that causes the care. I didn't bring it up, but the caregiver ends up suffering as much, if not more. Anyway, what it is, maybe I'll get a tattoo that says that. It is what it is.
Okay, it is 9:40, and with that, I'd like to call, the next item is a public hearing concerning the proposed adoption and enforcement of the Maryland Swimming Pool and Spa Standards, which incorporates therein the 2021 International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. The purpose of this hearing is to hear public testimony concerning the matter. Procedure is as follows. We will first have staff introduce the matter, after which the hearing will be open for public comment and testimony. Public comment and testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The hearing will then close and no other comments, correspondence, or emails will be considered. The commissioners may discuss the issue and take it under advisement, or they may reach a consensus to adopt the codes as presented. And with that, I'm going to ask Greg Cartrett, permitting director, will now present the matter. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Greg Cartrett, Director of Permits and Inspections and Code Official.
Rosalinda Pasquale, Deputy County Attorney.
We're here today to hold a public hearing for the proposed adoption of the Maryland Swimming Pool and Spa Standard, which incorporates therein the 2021 International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. The standard, which incorporated the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, was previously included in the ARTH for the public hearing for the 2021 Building Code adoption that we did earlier this year. Because the swimming pool and spa standards / code are new, this is new to the state of Maryland. They just adopted it this code cycle for the first time. They are new, and there were no local amendments, which we adopted as is, as Maryland adopted it, and we did not add any local amendments being proposed. It was mistakenly omitted from the public notice for the February 27 hearing and did not have its own individual proposed ordinance included. We are obligated to implement and enforce these standards per COMAR 09.12.56.05 with and without local amendments. This proposed adoption is simply to encapsulate the state level requirement and was intended to be adopted with the other building codes adopted in February. This standard establishes minimal requirements to provide a reasonable level of safety, health, property protection, and general welfare by regulating and controlling design, construction, installation, quality of materials, location, and maintenance or use of pools and spas.
Okay, any other comments? We will now open the hearing for public comment. Anyone wishing to testify from here this morning, please come forward. Give us your name and address for the record. Hearing none. At this time, do the commissioners have any questions or concerns?
Okay, just in a summary, the state of Maryland did this. we adopted it. We couldn't have we could have added but not taken anything away. We left it
Exactly.
just the way the state of Maryland said we had to
Exactly.
do
We
it.
could have made it more strict.
We could have made it more stringent. We didn't. We left it as, a good example is in the code itself. Maryland did not adopt and did a Maryland amendment that stated, in the code, it states, if you have a swimming pool with an electric cover, that you're not required to put a fence around the pool. Maryland said, no, we don't care. You still got to put a security fence around the pool. So that was the major difference that Maryland changed from it to make it more stringent. And we just, as the committee, the building code committee, we just, said, we're staying with what Maryland, there's no reason why we need to put any local amendments at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Public hearing is now concluded, and commissioners, it's your choice. If
I'd say move forward with it. Just, if everybody agrees,
in
just,
my direction.
I'd motion to approve it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. See Jonathan. Jonathan, you ready for Faces of Farming? Kelsey, please come forward. Well, Faces of Farming or presentation.
Morning, Commissioners. Jonathan Horowitz, the Director of Department of Business and Economic Development.
Kelsey Cadle, Business Specialist Agriculture, Department of Business and Economic Development.
We're here today to present you with two more installments of the Faces of Farming videos.
Washington County's agriculture business represents the backbone of the county's landscape. With almost 900 operating family farms and almost $168 million in the market value of products sold, agriculture is the cornerstone of Washington County's economy. The Faces of Farming marketing campaign will aim to educate residents in Washington County, along with the surrounding states and counties, about the economic impact of the ag industry. Additionally, these videos will be used for the agriculture education to numerous streams around Washington County, such as 4-H and FFA meetings, the Ag Expo and Fair, and will be available on the Washington County Ag app and website. PR, can you please play the two videos?
My name is Beth Williams. I am one of the owners of Hope Valley Farm in Knoxville, Maryland. And I started this company with my best friend, Cindy Smith.
Beth and I have been friends for, 12, 13 years. We met when both our kids were in kindergarten, and we were Girl Scout leaders together. So we bought the farm in 2019 to get kids outdoors and to get them to learn more about outdoor education.
My initial passion in life, which was teaching, I was a teacher for over 20 years, and now my teaching degree is serving my other passion of farming and growing, and I get to teach kids how important it is to take care of the environment, and when you do, what can come of it. We have a cut flower farm that we're trying to grow into an agro-tourism business, and we also host outdoor education classes for kids, and we enjoy 2 summer camps on the farm with the Girl Scouts of the nation's capital.
We tried to find out as much history about the house that we could. We love the history of the farm. It was built by the daughter of a Civil War doctor who actually owned Magnolia Plantation across the street, and the property was used as a Civil War encampment for resting horses.
Agriculture in our environment is so precious. Giving children the opportunity to see firsthand what can happen when we take care of it is one of our passions here at the farm.
My name is Lindsay O'Brien. Everybody calls me Frog. I run Summer Rose Horsemanship, which is a horseback riding facility, and we are in Keedysville, Maryland. I bought the farm at the end of September, and I have 50 acres. I have 16 horses on the property. I offer boarding to my students, so I have 3 boarders currently, and the rest of the horses belong to me, and I use them in my lesson program. I have a couple personal horses, but mostly lesson horses. I teach both English and Western riding. I have a variety of breeds. I've got a Belgian as my biggest horse. She's about 16.2 hands. And I've got a small mutt of a pony that is about 12.2 hands, so we range in size considerably. I teach kids of all ages, from 2 up to, I think my oldest student was 74. So we accommodate everybody, complete beginners to have been riding in the past or currently ride at another facility. My mom rode when she was younger. She grew up in Middletown riding bareback through all the fields that are now developed in Middletown, and so she kind of brought that passion to me when I was younger. I officially started taking lessons when I was 6, and I rode at a couple different barns and found a wonderful instructor that really fostered my passion for teaching and managing the horses, and so I just kind of ran with it. But horses are just such gentle, giant creatures that can be so misunderstood. I really enjoy helping people better themselves through the horses and vice versa. The agriculture and horse industry are important to the community because it helps people ground in nature, and they really have to take their time and be present in the moment. You know, in this society of we're always going, you know, farming and horses, we have to kind of wait. We can't just do it when we want to do it. It's really kind of tuning in with nature.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Jonathan. I have a question. Kelsey, are you a volunteer down there at the Ag Expo?
Yes, I am.
Well, thank you for that. And I think that one video had a goat in it. Are you familiar with goats?
Just a little bit. So I thank you for coming down and
Well, thank you
participating in that milking.
But I do want to acknowledge you are our new ag marketing specialist, and she's already immersed inside the ag community. So I just want to congratulate you on your job, and you're doing wonderful. And it was great to see you down there volunteering.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Check out Jeff's videos of him milking a goat, too. They're great.
That link has been removed.
Oh, we'll find it. Don't worry, citizens. We'll get it back up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is motion for, to go into closed session for the
Motion.
reasons stated.
Motion to go in closed session.
Second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor by saying aye. Let's take a 3 to 5 minute recess.